Hey guys, welcome back to High School Musical, the series Aftershow. And I'm so happy to be back for episodes 8 and 9. I'm your host, Chae Jones, but I could not do this alone. I have my friend all the way from Indiana, Mr. Jeff Williams Jr. How you feeling?
I'm doing well. Can you hear me now?
I can.
I, I'm I'm just happy you can hear me. I feel like I'm so far away from you guys, or from you, and like from all the fans because I'm like I call this the East Coast. It's not really the East
It's
Coast.
the
It's the
Midwest.
Midwest. But like we're on the East Coast timeline, East Coast time zone. It's so confusing here. It's 3 hours away. It's late, but we're talking about High School Musical, the musical, the series, and I'm pumped.
We have to get into both these episodes because they're very jam packed. So we're gonna start with episode 8, most likely 2, because there are so many things I need to unpack. We have to unpack the almost broken up Nini and Riky situation. We got to talk about EJ and his decision, and we have to get on into Howie's beautiful rendition of the Broadway version of "If I Can't Love Her," because I gotta get, Kourtney. Like, I'm ready to get into this episode super seriously. So we're gonna jump into, I think, one of the things that made me cry, but even before how we started singing, was obviously Nini and Riky being in the treehouse and their decision. Because leading up to this moment, there is so much discontent in the relationship. There is so much back and forth, but not communicating what they're really feeling to each other, or the decisions why what led to this, that led to that, to being in the treehouse that her mom created for her, but it also was kind of the first for everything for them. How they began their friendship, how they had their first kiss with each other, to them falling in love. It began in this one place, and just Nini's breaking down, crying was just, it hit me because, like, while Riky isn't crying, at least in that moment, he's more being there for her and letting her get it out. It still broke my heart. It was like the whole taking off the dog tags, just everything broke my heart about that. How did you feel? Because I know you had your own opinions about Riky and Nini's relationship since like season 1. So how do you feel about that, Jeff?
I mean, it was a lot of emotions. Like there were so many things going on. Like you said, they grew up in that treehouse, and it was cool to see so much history in there. But with that history, you have to mature, you have to grow, you have to outgrow that treehouse, that childhood bedroom, that childhood mindset, everything, and childhood boyfriend for a little bit. You never know. I mean, until people grow around you the way that you're growing, you have to leave those situations. And it was cool to see that he kind of was there for her. I didn't know how I felt about the dog tag situation because I didn't know if that was like over dramatic or if she wanted that. I didn't really catch that feeling. But all in all, like I feel like it was a great moment. It was a much needed moment. But with all that said, they still didn't talk. That's what really needs to happen. This They needed a break just to get themselves together, but they also need to talk.
I agree. With the dog tags, now that you say that, I didn't understand his reasoning for giving it back. Like, she didn't ask for
Me
it
neither.
back. There is no need to take it off. It's not like, oh, I'm. Maybe it's just a me. Like, when I receive jewelry, I still have jewelry from exes. I'm sorry. The hell? I mean, I don't wear them like that, but I got them if I need them. Like, I'm not. I ain't giving nothing back. Like, it wasn't
Yeah.
asked, and like you said, they also didn't talk. I mean, I think that was the bigger thing. Like, it was kind of a talk, but it wasn't a talk. It was more surface. You guys did the surface of what was needed, and instead of, like, it is okay. I will say this. It says every seven or so years, you you should become a different person. Like, it's like growing into a different person or a different version of you. That doesn't mean that
Hmm.
version's bad or that version's good. It just means that you met somebody, like, you're somebody new now. And it was something legit from Tyler Perry, basically. And I didn't really, it didn't hit me until you said that, but it was more just like how marriage works. Like, marriage legit will last for this many years or that many years, and you meet a new person and you're just like, you don't know who this person is, but that's because they're a new person. That's not the person you met. Now this 7 years have gone by, 14 years have gone by. They are a different person. You should want them to be a different person. Hopefully. Yeah. Because that means you also have changed. You're not the same girl. You're not that same person that they fell in love with. And you have to fall in love with the new version of whoever pops up. And like they've known each other since kindergarten, so it's been about you at that time period of
2 versions, yeah.
Yeah, you at that time period of the next version of whoever I'm gonna be. Especially when you're in high school, like we have our own different versions of who we are in high school. Freshman year to senior year, sophomore year to junior year, like we are not the same within each year. Something changes within us within those 4 years regardless. Something changes. It just does. So watching them like have their flashback moment and being like, like we were this is who we were. That doesn't mean we can't find our way back again, but we also have to find out who we are now. Because Ricky, you're still dealing emotionally with your whole parents' divorce. You want me to be Nini, but maybe I want to be Nina now. That's not a bad thing either. You can still call me Nini. It's something you gave me, but I don't know who Nina is because I haven't let myself figure out who Nina is. It's like she said, it's her given name. And if you spent most of from your childhood up until this point going by your nickname, you kind of got to realize, am I just my nickname or am I who's my real name? What is the name that was given to me? Who is that person? Because I haven't been that person for a while. And that whole back and forth within the pizza place was a whole moment.
So much.
Just it was in my mind. I was just like, we should have like kept this somewhere else. But finally, you guys are talking. Like this is like a talk. Like yeah, you're yelling, but it also means you've been holding it in for so long that it comes to a yelling place, and eventually, maybe because you're both yelling, you're not listening. Because if you're like 2 people who are yelling, you're not listening. So it's like get past the yelling part, and then let's get to the actual part. Like Ricky, you're trying to hold on, and you're saying that you want to hold on to who y'all were before the first time breakup. I think that's what also was a bigger thing. He wanted to go back to who they were before the first breakup, and in that sense, you wanted her to be that Nini who all she did, she wrote things for you, or she kept it to herself. She didn't audition. She didn't be more reckless or take risks or things like that. And that worked for you then, but that's not who she is now. That's not even who you are now. At the same time, if that makes sense.
It almost seemed like he got worse really quickly. If you know what I mean, like as soon as she went to the other school, the first episode was like, or the second episode when he finds out, is like, you know what? It's no one's fault. She needed her time. That's why she didn't tell me. It's cool. She's doing her and I'm being supportive, but we're going to make it work. And he's trying to be positive, trying to make it work. But as soon as she's back, he reverts back into, it's all about me. She never wanted to be herself. She always wants to be about me, and that's it. We're going to keep it that way. It's like, why did things change? She can't, yes, you might have think she came back for you, but like, that does not mean everything about her life is you-centric. Like, she is a grown person. She definitely went somewhere. So it was kind of like, why did you just revert back so quickly? You were doing so well at the beginning of the season, and it's seeming like I understand you want a solid, you want a rock, but you can't force somebody to be that person for you.
He said, what he said was, for him at least, that was that feeling, the safety part. Granted, but your safety was holding on so tight, like you weren't trying to have no like release, no breath, no nothing. It's like you want to just smother in that. And I mean, that might have worked for her before when she was all about you. But now she's about Nina. And that's okay too. Like, I think it's also more of him needing to learn that her being Nina is okay. Her being Nini is okay no matter what that looks like. But you're going to have to, for Riky himself, is going to have to learn that just because, right, this moment is not about you doesn't mean I'm not about us. And I think that was a crux, like, at least from my eyes watching at least them two, especially because him saying that, you know, like, you came back for me. She's like, I mean, I was already off the bus. Like, it was like a mob drop the mic of just saying that. And I was just like, baby girl, you've been holding on to that? Like, you better than me. I can be petty real quick.
I mean, it didn't need to be petty. It needed to be said because, like, being held back, like, she used it in a petty way. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they would have talked about why she's back, what happened, what made her change, instead of just assuming and having that just be okay, that's what leads to the miscommunication. That what leads to him thinking it's all about him. Like, it's kind of two ways there. But yeah, it's mainly on Riky.
Let's be real. They're both at fault. Like, for why the relationship is the way. Like, for her reason, she didn't want to... Like, you withheld your own truth because you didn't want to hurt him. But in the end, when you told him, it still hurt him. So either you want to hurt him now or you want to hurt him later. You can't, like... Because you, like, in her mind, she knew how he would have reacted. So then the fact that you kept
makes it worse.
Yeah.
And stringing him along makes it worse.
It does. It makes it so much worse than if you would have just told him. Then you guys could have. But also, that's also the thing what I want them both to work on. Like, if you're gonna take a break, because even though he did take off the dog test and it's a broken up, I think that it just needs to be a break. You both need to figure out who you are, and then when you know who you are, you come back and you actually have a conversation. And I mean an actual conversation, not no surface, where did we go wrong, in a sense. Like, and if we're going to go back into this a third time's the charm, hopefully, what is something that's going to need to change for it to work? Both of us, not just you or not just me. And I think that's what I would like to see once they go through their break.
My only thing is, with this break, we know how the last break ended. I mean, it didn't end up well.
Well,
she ended up with a new boyfriend.
That's literally because he couldn't admit to his feelings.
Yes.
And her just going straight into a rebound when she wasn't prepared for it to last. Like you never jump into a rebound thinking it's gonna replace the relationship you just loved.
Well, it wasn't a rebound.
It was. That was her. I'm sorry. Her relationship with EJ was a rebound.
It was real though.
A real rebound.
All right.
Like, if you guys are watching this, leave a comment if you thought Nini and EJ's relationship was just a rebound.
That's fine.
Please let me know.
You know why? Because we need a more mature, a more traveled, a more well-versed woman in me and EJ's life, and that is Gina. So I'm so happy for my guy EJ. He's doing great things, as he should be, being the man that he should be, speaking up to his father like he should do.
Oh, this comes from the same person last week who said, like, he didn't want him to, like, you hope he wasn't turning away Duke for Gina when it wasn't about that. Let's get into EJ real quick. But I do agree with you.
I stand by that statement.
Okay.
Cool.
I do agree with you in the sense that I'm liking EJ actually is doing the work. Like, he actually is taking the time to do the work. Like, that whole moment of, like, how he sees himself. And, like, it's something like, if you've done bad or you just made mistakes, all you're going to see is your mistakes. The person you were. And, like, sometimes when you see all the mistakes that you made, you can't actually see the journey and the work that you've put forward to do better. Because he's done a lot of work to do better. And I like that, just the scene between him and Gina of, you know, like, just close your eyes. This is what I see of you. Like, you have what you see, but I'm going to tell you what I see. And it does take an outside perspective sometimes to put everything into perspective. Especially from someone we trust. And hopefully from somebody we want to have a relationship with. Because obviously EJ wants a relationship with Gina real quick. I don't know. I just loved it when he was having that breaking fourth wall moment, and then Gina like pops in and she's like, "Nope, I'm going this way."
Like, oh, my bad.
But like I wasn't. Nope, I'm just going this way. But I actually liked that conversation because it was like I said. The reason why I hope he didn't go to Duke, not because he shouldn't go to Duke, but because it has to be his choice. Because just because sometimes what our parents want for us doesn't always necessarily mean it's the best thing for us. Because like you said, he didn't earn it. Like your dad literally whispered in your ear, said, "Son, I made a call, so you're in." Like if EJ was still the like old EJ, he would have just took it probably. But,
let's go. I'm wearing my Dookies. You know what I'm saying?
But new EJ is a little bit more. I want to earn my place. Like, and his dad says, like, whether it's a legacy you build or you were born into, you're going to have to make your own eventually. And I like that he's taking that stance and actually went to his dad to be like, "Dad, I'm not going to Duke." And obviously it might have ended well because his parents decided just to go, off on spring break, but we'll get to that later. But how did you feel about the whole, just Gina EJ moment, the placing the Duke hoodie on her? First of all, also, if a guy gives you the hoodie to keep, that is a sign. But continue. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, and not only that, but she made it like she like took the hoodie off. I think she cut the hood off, but she made it hers. She made the Duke hoodie hers.
Obviously,
which
that
I'm
is
so
episode 9 we will get into, but I really just had to say that because I'm sorry. He really was sleeping, put it on you, and you kept it.
Yeah,
the signs are all over, baby girl.
It's just like week after week, I just start thinking, EJ just keeps getting better, and I'm like, I'm Team EJ. He's showing you why he's a better man, why he deserves Gina, why Gina needs to open up her eyes and see what's good for her, because there's people that care for her, not only friends and family, but a real man. So I'm so excited just to see this flourish. It was really funny, kind of jumping into episode 9 as well. But like when Gina was behind EJ is resemblance to when, I don't even know what Asher Angel's character's name was behind Jack was behind Gina. If you in the background, I don't know if you noticed that, but when she was doing her little thing, he was like, he was making some. Oh yeah, I guess they did pan it on him, but it was just kind of reminiscent of the same scene.
Another big thing that happened, we had Big Red and Ashland, and that moment of Ashlyn just not understanding that Big Red was happy with what he got. He wasn't sad or upset. He was just, oh, that makes sense. I'm serviceable. I can be in the like that makes me happy. And her, trying to like, oh, this is your vision board. It was such a cute, like, I appreciate the effort. And then Big Red just being like, the only thing besides what I do with my family makes me happy is you, but I know you're going to be a big star. And that kind of broke my heart in the sense that he feels like, because I don't think they've used the L word yet, but like his relationship with her isn't going to be enough when she reaches that level he believes she will reach.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes her a moment to just be like, I never wanted to change Big Red. I love who Big Red is. So if he, wants to work at his family restaurant, maybe I don't know if she was trying to work there either. Like, they never said. She just put on a shirt. So I'm just like, I still got questions to see how that's going to go. But I love, them just having that moment at the end and watching a movie, obviously before Riky shows up, and just kind of being more in sync with how we know Big Red and Ashland to be.
Yeah, I agree. And I just want them to talk. I don't know. We don't know what they said. We've seen so many relationships go without talking, and they feel good, they look good for a moment, but we haven't seen Ashlyn say how she feels. Big Red it kind of explained like how he feels, but like it was still confusing because I thought he was upset when he heard about the service stuff. It's not like he was just excited about it. So like I see where Ashlyn was coming from, but like also Ashlyn has to understand that like people's dreams are different, I'm a person that like am a vision board heavy person. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for me to understand where Big Red's coming from, but without talking, they're just gonna end up the same way.
Yeah. I want to see them actually have more of a talk, but somebody who finally needed to talk was Kourtney and Howie. That was a big thing. Of First of all, let's also talk about the fact that Miss Darrenay's mom actually played her mom. And guys, her mom has been in so many different things. She's been in Poetic Justice, Hair Show, which is one of my favorite movies. Don't at me. Living Single. Even Stevens actually also for an episode. You can also check it
That's
out. It's
wild.
on also Disney. It's on Disney Plus. So I will leave a comment with the episode. If you ever want to see Darrenay's mom, Miss Kimberly Brooks kill it in her skilling. But her actual mom played, and I think that was you can actually see there was definitely more of a real like connection acting with your mother, like somebody who raised you and got you into love for acting anyway, and you get to share that same space. I loved watching that scene personally.
No, I 100% agree. I tweeted that I loved seeing Dara and her mom kill it. I didn't even know all that about her mom, to be honest. I remember meeting her when we interviewed them,
Yeah,
and she was just so sweet. She was all about like Dara, obviously, and like she just wanted the best for her. But like Dara killed it. Like she was just so fun loving, and you see where she got it from. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
I got it from my
her mom is
mama.
just her mom is amazing, and I love seeing that interaction on screen. You could tell it was genuine, and like, how often can you work with your parents? That's a huge blessing.
Unless you're like
That's very
Like
rare.
I've only known like Kim Fields and Queen Latifah. It's the only like I've known to have actually been able to do episodes with their parents. So it was like awesome watching that,
Hmm.
and also having that the conversation about if you're in a relationship, you're gonna make mistakes. Like, cause in her mind, her parents like dad's never made mistakes. Oh, he's made plenty. Like, let's not get it twisted. But so have I. But
Hmm.
the knack for that is eventually the more time you spend with somebody, the less mistakes you'll make. And I actually thought that was a really just a good quote in general. No matter what in life, like it's gonna be mistakes made in relationships. Hopefully not too big, not too small, but just there's gonna be mistakes. But eventually the more time you spend with people, the less they happen. Especially in a marriage, you would hope at
Hmm.
that point. And also like need to be like her mom telling her that you know who you are. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. So the only person who can answer if you're gonna forgive Howie is you. What are you gonna be willing to forgive? Though I will say this, I did understand Howie's reasoning. Because if he would have just straight out told her eventually, maybe like from the straight get go, hey, I go to North High, she probably would have not have talked to him. Like never gave him the chance. And that would have just been a missed opportunity. However, after a date or two, sir, that's something you just bring up.
That's where I'm at.
I will
That's where
say
I'm at.
that like after a date or two, that's something he could have brought up. Granted, we don't know how long they have been together, maybe a week, maybe two, but either way, that's something you could have came out forth without saying. She was like, I didn't even know you could sing. So what else don't I know
See,
about you?
exactly. But remember when they're texting during rehearsals and stuff, and she's saying all these things about rehearsal, but he's not saying anything. It's just suspect. You can say, "Hey, just a heads up, can we talk?" You know what I'm saying? Like he never initiated that. It came on to him. And he got caught. So there was no point in which he was going to be like, you know what? I was going to say something. No, you got caught, and very far down the line, far enough down the line that it's annoying. So I can't. It was a great song, but I'm not a fan.
I will say that. I will say two things on that. One, because they've known each other for a couple weeks before, like even before the dating. So I guess it cool is like we were just co-workers. I'm not like I don't have to share anything. But when we start going into dating territory, yeah, you should have opened your mouth very sooner. I will say for me, Dara is a straight G for keeping her face straight. First of all, because he's saying that live. Second of all, I would have caved. Before he finished the song, I would have caved and forgave you. But that's only because I'm a sucker for a dude that can sing, and that song was just beautiful and brought me to tears. Like, it was just so beautiful. His rendition, everything. And, like, it just, like, he really sang from his heart. And I think that's what moved me the most. Like, he actually sang it from his heart. And you
but
actually,
you know what you
like,
could
heard...
do from your heart? Tell the truth. That's what you could do. I'm just saying, like, that's what you want. That's what you really need. It's the truth to be told.
True. So, but I think after this, that's his biggest secret. So, I mean, that's like, if this is the one mistake,
that's what we hope.
Let's hope. But if that's the only mistake he can make, I think let him grovel a little bit more, but forgive him eventually.
You know, the biggest mistake is that he's on the competing team that you're going against for the biggest award of the year, but he didn't tell you while you guys were struggling. All right. Yeah, that's small.
I didn't say it wasn't, like, and it's like it's high school, like.
So it's even a bigger deal for her.
True. I really want to argue. Again, this is just personally for me. I would forgive Howie. I would wait, though, until, like, after the Mankeys. I would forgive you after. Like, right now, I'm not going to say mad, because I feel like it's not so much she's mad, she's just more hurt. And she has to, but I think her whole, no boys, no drama, like, no anything, that's such a rigid thing, because you can't not think that any relationship you're going to get in will never have drama. You like most likely it won't, but you can never, like, go through life expecting no drama.
Mm-hmm.
That's, like, the only thing that kind of gets me about that. Because there's no way you can expect to go through life without drama. And at least for me, I think a little bit of drama never hurt nobody. It never hurt nobody. My feelings are hurt right now, but I'll eventually get over it because I know who I am. And I think Kourtney will forgive Howie. It ain't gonna be now, but she will forgive him. I actually truly believe that. But now we're gonna get into spring break because everybody is going their separate places and doing Zooms because obviously Ms. Jen can't, well, she won't force them to work during spring break, even though she would love to. If you did not catch that while watching this episode. We have Gina at the airport trying to get to Louisiana to see her mom. We have Nini suffering writer's block. We have EJ and Ashlyn watching old movies. First of all, I got issues with this. I have just an issue with that statement calling Scary Movie old. Yes, granted, I understand it was 2000. But we're not talking about like this is like Sunset Boulevard, All About Eve, even Showboat.
It's so devastating.
It hurts your heart just a little bit. Like, what you mean? Like, even Nini's just like, yeah, that's such a... You guys watching really old... Why I gotta be too old?
She was like... Exactly.
Why I gotta be too old is the question. But okay, cool. We're just gonna bypass the hurt of that statement. And we have Carlos living his best life in Cabo, Mexico. And Seb is still in Salt Lake City, waiting on Milky White. I don't know if it's like a nod to Into the Woods or not, but I still will take it. But obviously they have their own tension happening right now. It's just like that tension was strong between Seb and Carlos, even over the cyberspace.
I loved it.
Okay, whose side are you on? I guess in this would be my question. Are you on Carlos' side or Seb's side?
I'm on Seb's side.
Seriously?
He had to be home. He had to be there for his animals. What do you mean?
I'm on Carlos'
That's what
side.
he does.
I'm sorry, I'm on Carlos' side.
But Carlos doesn't need to be taking photos with random men. That's what he doesn't need to be doing. He needs to be hanging with his family.
First of all,
it's spring break.
Like,
he's in high school.
And he's in Mexico. But I think for that was more of a two-parter for me in that sense of I am on Team Carlos in the fact that if I'm going to Cabo and I ain't paid for nothing and I'm in high school, I'm going. I'm sorry.
Oh,
You want me to
100%.
stay back in the cold
100%.
when I can go to
Oh
Mexico?
no, I don't. No, I think he should go. But the being banned by other dudes or whatever, that's not okay. You
Yeah,
can't be doing
that is
that.
not okay. I will say that that was very bad of Carlos. But if Seb has an issue with his boyfriend being in a whole other country, you could have just came with me. If you were worried about if you had an inkling or worried about anything I was gonna be doing, you could have came. It was a free trip, and I also think this could just be me. I really think it's more Seb using Milky Way as an excuse not to go because he still feels a little uncomfortable with the fact that like Carlos comes from a rich family. I feel like that
Mm.
also played a part in his decision. Cause I'm so you could have got a free trip to Mexico, and your answer is not yes.
You don't
But
understand. No, there's things that come up in families. Like he's literally raised these animals since their birth. They're
which
about to
I
have
get,
birth.
I'm not
Like,
saying that's not admirable of Seb like at all. I'm also just saying that he also it's not like he could not have gone. He could have gone, and I think that was a more bigger thing for Carlos. And Carlos' mind, you actually could have came.
but he can't.
He could have. I really think he
No.
was more using the birth as an excuse not to go.
Okay, so you think he could have?
Yes, I think
Okay.
I think Seb was really not all of it, but partly using it as an excuse not to go.
Okay, so that's another thing that they need to talk about.
It they do. I mean, a lot of talking kind of happened, but not exactly of the more deep variety. Except
Mm-mm.
for maybe the fact that we had Mr. Asher Engel make an appearance because Jeff's been waiting for this all season long, and you know her breaking the fourth wall, which you look familiar. Do I? Yes, I do because we did and you act together. But it was very cute. All the banter that they had, sneaking into the Sky Lounge. I thought it was adorable. And obviously, you never can go wrong playing Truth and a Lie because it's just really fun. Even while you're stuck in the airport. I mean, granted, at least you got a phone charger and a plug. I like if I was stuck anywhere, as long as I have a plug charger, I'm great in life. But that's just
And
me.
give me some Wi-Fi. I'm chilling.
And obviously there was some admittance happening while they were in the Sky Lounge. Gina still hasn't had her first kiss. That was a big one that I caught. And that end moment of like I want my first kiss to be with the guy who's gonna stay around. Like who's gonna be there. Like you're about to you're flying to Miami. You live on an airplane. Seems like your dad's a pilot. So it can't be you, but it was still very cute. The entire scene, their entire interactions throughout the episode. How did you feel?
First, I loved Astro Angel being integrated in High School Musical in such a integral role, but at the same time in just a cameo because I feel like he opened Gina's eyes to what she has because literally by the last statement, what you said earlier is like the person that's gonna be there will be able to what was the word? He said it in the like he said I got you or something. What did EJ say to her when he was coming up the escalator?
Oh,
He
he said,
said I got
anybody
you
have
or
a Duke? Anybody seen a Duke hoodie anywhere?
no, but it was like I got your back or something like that
Oh,
or
I got my peeps back, something like that.
yeah, he's like, but he's like, you gotta always have someone that has your back, and then he's like, I always got your back or something. It
Mm-hmm.
was I gotta find the exact wording, and I'm gonna have to look it up now because it's gonna bother me. But either way, I just thought it was really cool. That you know what's funny?
Yes.
I actually was like in the middle of this. I'm like, I don't know who I want her to be with now. I was like, I really enjoyed their chemistry though. They have such good chemistry, Sophia and Asher, because they've known each other for so long. They grew up on screen together for what was 4 seasons or 3 seasons or whatever it
Three
was.
seasons.
Um, and now to see how much chemistry they had and just kind of be clicked back into it, and then he play a role of like showing her what she could have, but what she actually wants in a person You know what I'm saying? And being able to open up and being able to feel like, I don't know, that she wasn't being judged or whatever, but like still opening her eyes to what she has. Like you have a Duke hoodie on, you know what I'm saying? You have another dude's hoodie on. So it was cool. And yeah, I love the cameo, but like you said, all the fun games, the whole episode was fun to me to watch their interactions because their chemistry was that great.
Yeah, it really was. And then EJ showing up to come pick her up,
Hmm.
like just like, oh, I caught your story. Let me just Ashlyn, I'll be back real quick. First of all, he came to get you. He gave you a granola bar in case you were hungry. He's gonna bring you back in the morning. These are all signs, and I cannot like just. I just want to like
Like
have a
big
foghorn
signs.
giant. Like I want to put banners up to say he is the one. In case you were not wondering, I really just want to like shake a shine in front of Gina's face and be like, he is the one. Kiss him. But that's just me. I don't know how anybody else felt watching that moment, but for me, I was just loving it. And then we had some shadiness happen from North High. Like in my mind, I just want to be like, y'all got better things to do. Ain't y'all in New York? Why are you making a video? There's just so much wrong with like the shadiness of that video, like of the fame that they got from High School Musical. Like, let's bring the focus over here to North High.
It
Really?
was
That's what
it
you're focusing
was
your spring break on? That just seems like a waste of energy. I'm sorry. That just could be me. However, I did love obviously their new video that they put up to show that just because they're taking a break doesn't mean they forgot about Broadway or the music or who they are. It's still a very much a part of them, and it's still cool even though they're separate to still have fun with the music. Obviously, also because Matt, who plays EJ, is filming Zombies 3 right now, the Zombies 3 cast has decided to do the High School Musical dance, and like they've been posting all weekend
That's
of
cool.
them doing that. Like legit, I'm assuming he like helped taught them how to do it, but they all learned, the dancers and the actors, and just
That's really
up and
cool.
did it.
That yeah, I was just say that whole scene was cool. I was looking up what the actual words were, and he said you got to show up for your peeps, and that's pretty much what she said. She's like, I need someone that's gonna show up, and he was like, Asher as in Jack says, do I count? And she's like, I need someone that's gonna show up and stay, and lo and behold, EJ's like, I gotta show up for my peeps. What do you mean? Speaking it into fruition. Sorry, I just had to bring it back.
To bring
But
it
um,
back, and he took the
but no, that
backs too.
whole
Like I
I
was
love
just yeah.
I love how with EJ, I can't even think of what his real name is. I follow him on. It's like
Matt.
Connett. It's Matt Connett, right? Is that how you pronounce
Oh,
his last
Matt
name?
Cornett.
Cornet, Cornet, or something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that.
And I saw on his Instagram he posted like not only the video of it, but behind the scenes of it, and like him like going down behind the camera, and like I saw when Kourtney and Big Red were together when they had to do it, and like how they shot that, and not. And what's funny was I saw it behind the scenes before I saw the episode, like the actual episode. So I was like, that makes so much more sense now because you never seen Big Red behind her, and I was like, how? Why? He's not even going down that low. But I was like, it made it work.
Yeah.
It was just really cool to see. I love all their big when they do big numbers. It's always fun. There's a lot of action in it, and you love to see all the work, all the hard work put together and look so smooth. They make it look easy, but you know that choreography from the which side are you gonna hit at what beat, doing the same dance moves at the same beat. A lot of different people took a lot of different turns, and it was really cool to see.
I know. I just realized we forgot to talk about the famous Gaston. So I want to touch on that
Mm,
real quick because I thought that performance was really great. Big Red did set like his LeFou. I don't know. Like I never really fell in love with LeFou. I mean, granted, like there's nothing wrong with LeFou's character. It's just I guess depending on
yeah.
who plays that character. Like Josh Gad, like does an amazing job as LeFou. But like I love the energy Big Red brought to that performance, and everything
Hmm.
hit so well. like the slides, the like knocking of the glasses, everything like match. And I thought that was so cool watching EJ really, bring his inner macho man of who Gaston is out in that performance. How did you feel about it?
I mean, you know how I'm a big EJ guy, so he killed that number. He stole. I mean, he. I was about to say he stole the show, but like I feel like we know what we could get from EJ. We know he's Guston and he's the best at it,
You
and
said
he could
Gustav.
kill it. But like you said, or Gustav, I said whatever.
Gaston.
Uh, okay, and but Big Red stole the show.
He did.
And like you said, he gave life to his character. And not only that, we're starting to see the star that Big Red is. Like we're starting to see the talents that I can't even think of the real character's name,
Larry.
actor's name. Harry who?
Larry.
Larry. I thought you said Harry. I was gonna say that's not it. The real but what the real talents that Larry brings to this character and stuff. So it's like it's really cool to see. And like it just leans into the next episode. And yeah, Larry's a very talented actor and just talented person in general. So I'm really excited to see what talents they tap into going down the line, because you see they learn more about each person, each actor, what they can and can't do, or what they can do and what they can do that you don't even think of. And they tap into those things and find ways to showcase these kids.
Yeah, definitely. Two quick things. Kourtney fake breaking up on the video call with Nini, because she, like I said, she will eventually forgive Howie. It's gonna happen. It is like the fact that you're like fake have to like, I'm frozen. I can't talk. Like, yeah,
Yep.
that's a tell. With your girl, like Nini knows, and she's gonna be supportive with whatever Kourtney decides, obviously. But one of the bigger things was Riky and his mom's relationship, and then his song, and him being a human burrito was a moment of sadness,
Mm-hmm.
and him coming to terms with letting go. But it's interesting, like you hear like hearing the lyrics, and like even like obviously I always have my subtitles, like reading my lyrics. I was just like, wow, like you really like you're just gonna let it all go. And I don't know how I feel, because like even him saying everything was perfectly imperfect, and I don't like nothing was a regret. I have to like I love you so much I have to let you go.
Mm-hmm.
And then his mom like listening at the door, and like the 2 years coming.
She played it off so well too.
She's
She
like,
was like,
yeah,
"Yes."
yeah, okay,
Yep.
I'll be
Mm-hmm.
there. Just
Yep. Exactly.
because even like as like he still has obviously some resentment towards his mom, that we saw. The little dicks that he made,
Yep.
obviously, the only time you and dad talk is when you're gossiping about me. So that's also something like he's gonna have to like he still has to work through those issues with his mom. But I also think like him inviting her into the room was his first step, his olive branch, as you can say. How did you
Mm-hmm.
feel about that performance?
The performance was great. It's showing growth in his character, showing hope that he can like actually grow and tell and present this to Nini, or show, or just maybe not even present it to Nini, just be like, hey, or just step back, just do what he said he's gonna do in the song. But it almost seemed like that was more finite than a break. So it's interesting to see where his head's gonna be at if he comes back there and is like, I'm just gonna stay away and continue to do what I'm doing, and if some blondie from a different school comes around and wants to say what's up, then maybe she does. But and then we'll see what happens down the line. But it seemed more finite than what I was expecting.
Yeah, it was a lot. Like it was a lot. It was seemed final, and it kind of broke my heart in a way. Like nobody's saying like you and her breaks were. It had to be final. Like I think like sometimes he just takes it to extreme. Cause like
Well,
when you wanted a break, you just thought it was a break. You didn't think it was a breakup. And now when she asks for a break, you want to just break up. So I'm gonna need, like, you want to go 10 paces. I'm gonna need you to come back to like 3. That's all
I mean,
I'm asking for.
his mom wasn't helping in that sense because she was kind of leading like maybe it's over for you two. Like she was like saying that too. You know what I'm saying? Like she kind of fed into the inkling that it was over, and that's how I took it at least.
I mean, time will tell. All I know is he does get with Blondie. I'm slapping him. I'm sorry. That's like the only remedy for that. But guys, we're at the end of episode 9, spring break. We're so excited to get back to the new upcoming episodes, but we won't be on Fridays. Coming up, we're going to be on Mondays for episodes 10 and 11. On Mondays at 7:30 p.m. And for the finale, we're going to go back to our original time on Fridays, but Fridays at 6:30. So we will post on social so you guys know what's up. Don't forget to leave a comment. Jeff, where can all the people find you on social media if they don't already know?
If y'all ain't already following, what you doing? But if you don't know, follow your boy at Jeff Will Jr. on all your social media platforms.
And you guys can follow me at Real Chae Jones on all social media platforms and ChaeJones.com on my website to see what's up next. We will see you guys very soon.